Let's talk about a huge shift that's happening in product design. And this isn't some slow, gradual change, it's a full-blown transformation. We're talking about AI, and honestly, the data shows it's already here, and it's way bigger than you probably think.
So, let's start with the market. The generative AI space in manufacturing, it's projected to grow at a compound rate of, get this, 42% per year. That's not just growth, that's a rocket launch. It's basically rewiring the entire industry from the inside out. And look, this isn't some far-off futuristic idea. It is happening right now. A recent survey found that 62% of UX designers, that's almost 2/3 of your colleagues, are already using AI tools in their day-to-day work. What felt like a fun little experiment a year ago is now a non-negotiable part of the modern toolkit. And the impact on business? It's absolutely staggering. Just think about your Netflix homepage. That whole personalized experience is driven by AI, and it's estimated to be worth about $1 billion in value to them every year. This shows AI isn't just a cool tool, it's a core driver of revenue.
Okay, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to look at the sheer scale of this AI takeover. Then, we'll dive into the tools that are making design happen at lightning speed. We'll tackle the big, looming human question, what happens to our jobs? We'll see some real-world examples of AI in the wild, and then we'll map out what the future looks like for all of us creatives. All right, first up, the AI takeover. Let's just cut right through the hype and look at the hard numbers. This is the new reality, and it's backed by some serious data.
This right here, this is the tipping point in action. As of 2024, more than 40% of manufacturing companies have already brought generative AI into their product design workflow. So what was once a niche experiment is quickly becoming essential. The train has definitely left the station.
And the financial scale of this is, well, it's just breathtaking. The market for this tech is projected to absolutely explode, from about $300 million in 2023 to over $10.5 billion by 2033. When you see that kind of exponential growth, you know exactly where the industry is placing its bets.
So we see the investment. But what does that actually mean for you, the designer, on a random Tuesday afternoon? How is this changing the actual work? Let's get down to the ground level.
The first thing everyone notices is just the raw speed. It's kind of hard to believe. Teams are generating 56% more ideas, they're slashing the time it takes to create assets by up to 70%, and they're getting products to market 50% faster. This isn't just a minor improvement, it's a completely different way of creating.
And at the core of all this speed is something called generative design. The best way to think of it is like a creative partnership. You, the human designer, set the rules of the game, the materials, the budget, the goals. Then the AI partner explores thousands, even millions of possible solutions, a lot of which a human would just never think of.
And this is where it gets really wild. NASA's using this, and it proves it's not just about going faster. The AI is creating solutions that are objectively better, parts that are stronger, lighter, and more efficient than what the most brilliant human engineers could come up with on their own. But let's be real for a second. The AI tools that designers are actually using every single day aren't some magic design it all button. Nope. They're these small, super focused tools that just eliminate tedious work. Think of an AI that perfectly renames all your design layers in a second. That's where the real value is right now, freeing up designers from the grunt work so they can focus on the stuff that actually matters.
And it's not just about the creation process. AI is unlocking this level of hyper-personalization at a scale that was unimaginable before. Netflix and Amazon are the absolute masters of this. They use AI to create an experience that feels like it was built just for you. So much so that 80% of what gets watched on Netflix comes from a recommendation, and up to 35% of Amazon's sales are driven by its AI. That's design that literally adapts to every single user in real time.
So, this brings us to the elephant in the room. If AI can design better parts for NASA and drive billions in revenue for Netflix, are human designers about to go extinct?
Well, the data tells a complicated story. On the one hand, core digital design roles are actually growing, and we're seeing brand new jobs like prompt engineer just explode. But on the other hand, more traditional creative roles like computer graphic artists and photographers are in a sharp decline. The ground is definitely shifting under our feet.
And this is the critical point, at least for now. AI is brilliant at optimizing things. It's a genius at execution, but it can't do the one thing that makes a designer great: balancing the complicated needs of the user, the business, and the technology. That strategic, empathetic thinking is still a uniquely human skill. And this is fascinating. The most in-demand skill for these new AI-centric jobs, it isn't coding anymore. It's design. This signals a fundamental shift in what we value. We're moving away from pure technical execution, which AI can handle, toward the human-led strategy and creativity that guides the whole process. It's the difference between knowing how to build the house and knowing where to build it and why.
Okay, so let's move from theory to reality. Let's look beyond the stats and see how some high-stakes industries are putting these AI design principles into practice today.
I mean, from the cars we drive to the planes we fly in, major companies are weaving AI into their core workflows. BMW is using it to build its next-gen safety systems. The entire aerospace industry is using it to cut costs and build more reliable parts. And in manufacturing, AI is predicting machine failures before they even happen. This isn't a test run, it's happening right now.
Okay, so with this brand new landscape of insane speed, a shifting job market, and real-world applications, what's the game plan? How do designers and other creatives not just survive this, but actually thrive?
Now, the path forward isn't without some major bumps. The quality of what AI spits out can be a real problem. Only about 1 in 3 teams are actually happy with the results. And then you have these huge ethical questions. Almost 70% of creators are worried their work is being used to train AI without their consent. These are serious hurdles we have to figure out.
The solution seems to be a 4-step evolution for every designer. 1. Embrace AI as your partner, not your replacement. 2. Double down on your strategic and business thinking. That's where your human advantage is. 3. Get your hands dirty and master the new tools, from prompt engineering to AI integration. And finally, number 4, you've got to evolve beyond the traditional boundaries of your role and help build these new AI systems. So in the end, the future of product design isn't really human versus machine. It's human plus machine. It's a whole new kind of creativity, a partnership between our intuition and the machine's intelligence. The most successful products of the next decade will be born from this collaboration. The only question left is, are you ready to partner up?